Hello. Hello, my name is Enzo and I am a sixth grade student of Chindaman Elementary School. Today I got a speech about the blood, so please attention to my speech. And first I will tell you about how does the blood work. The blood works when the heart pumps the blood, and then it makes the blood to circulate all over the body. And then the blood gives the nutrients and oxygen to the needy cells, and it gets the waste products from the cells, and then these cells go to the vein, and it goes to the lungs, and then it goes to the heart, and then it is clean again, and the heart pumps the blood again. And when it happens, it circulates all through our body, and this cycle goes on and on. And next I will tell you about the three basic blood cells. First, these are red blood cells. Red blood cells is a blood cells which is the red color, and they are red color because they have a special protein called the hemoglobin. And this hemoglobin is a protein, and it is a word that was two words combined, and it is a hemo and a globin. Hemo means iron and the globin means a protein. It means that the hemoglobin is a protein that contains the iron. And this iron, when the iron is oxidized, it makes the red color. So the hemoglobin is red, and this red blood cell became red. And the red blood cell is a very important blood cell. They helps the blood cells to carry the oxygen and the nutrients. And the white blood cells is one of the most important blood cells among three, because the white blood cells is one of the immune system, and it means that the white blood cells kill the bacteria that came out from the body, so that when the bacteria comes into our blood vessel and the body, they will make the blood. They will fight with these bacteria or the organism from the outside, and they will kill them, and the killed bacteria will go out from our body to the urine. So the urine and this white blood cell is very important.
Two or too many?
If there are too many or
Too less.
okay, too little.
So when there is too much white blood cells, red blood cells. If there is too much red blood cells, maybe the blood will make they will make a blood clot, because there is too much blood that is happening. That there is too much blood, and when it is less red blood cell, maybe there will be kind of a lack of nutrients and oxygen in our body. Really, our health can be not healthy. So the red blood cells are very important cells.
And you mean it should supposed to be the number of the cells supposed to be in the right amount?
The third blood cell is a platelet, and the platelet is the blood cell which makes the blood scab. And this scab is very important because they blocks the wounds that happen in the skin. So when there is a wound, there is kind of a hole in our skin, and the bacteria or the organisms can come inside our body very easily through this wound. And the scab is the blood cell which blocks these holes. So the bacteria will be blocked inside our body. So block in our skin. So it is very important. The scab is very important. So you may think that the scabs are very annoying, but just let the scab body and block our body. So means that do you know why is the vein blue?
Why?
Color of the vein looks blue outside of our skin.
Because there is lots of blood cells inside the vein.
The vein is blue. The vein is blue because the blood cells are kinds of blood vessels are kinds of the muscles, and the muscle that runs the vein is the color blue. So it is not our blood. Blood color is blue. And I will tell you about the blood color later, but our blood color is just red. So many people think that when the blood gives all the nutrients and oxygen, it becomes blue, and it is the reason the vein is blue. But it is not the vein is blue because just the blood vessels color is the blue.
Then you also told us about the blood vessel. Then why do some people bruise easily, and what does that tell us about our blood vessel? Okay. Why do some people only get bruised easily, and then what does that tell us about the blood vessel in our body?
The bruises happen when our blood vessels are kind of damaged, and there's blood flowing out inside our body. So when we say that there's a lot of people who has a lot of bruises than others, and it means that the blood vessel can be very weak, and also, but it can be just the person who has too much bruise fall more very easily, or they just play very lot of time, and it can also make the bruise a lot. But some people has a very weak blood vessels, and can be a one reason that why they have more bruise.
Actually, the getting bruised is wreckage of the blood vessels. So when you crash or get some impact on your muscles or skin, then the capillaries can be also broken. Then the blood leak. So it's like inside bleeding. Understood? Yeah, sort of.
So now I'll tell you about how much amount of blood are inside our body. So for children like me, it means that there are about 2.4 liters of blood, and for adults like me, they have about 4 to 5 liters.
I don't think so, because I'm quite short.
It is just every small amount of blood. So when you're smaller or lighter, maybe you can have smaller amount of blood when you're bigger, and when you're bigger and more fatter, maybe you can have more blood than others. Like maybe you are children and you're bigger than others, and maybe you can have about 3 liters of blood. And I think the amount of blood can be a little bit different from person to person. So, do you think that people die because of the bleeding?
Yes, but not that many people die because of bleeding.
So the people can die of the bleeding when they lose the one third of the blood. So more the average, when the children loses about 0.8 liters, therefore adults when they have a 1.5 liters of blood, when they lose the 1.5 liters of blood, maybe the person who lose this amount of blood can die. And some people who bleed too much with the boost, and when they are doing surgery, they can have a lot of bleeding. And from the surgery, when there is some mistakes in the surgery, the people can die. People can die because of this bleeding too. So it is very important to block the bleeding after we have the serious wound. So the
Look, are you serious? And that's an alcohol. It's lethal. Can be lethal. You can lose your life.
So when we have a serious wound, it is very important to make the bleeding stop first.
Yeah.
then if we want to save the other, the donors might donate their blood to others, and what happened that their blood type didn't match together.
If it doesn't fit.
I will tell you about the blood transplant transfusion later, but I will tell you about a little about them now. When the blood type is not matched, the recipient that gets the blood can be very dangerous because the blood will clot inside our body,
Right.
clot inside their body because the special protein called the antibody will think that the new blood from the donor is the enemy, so the white blood cells and our immune system in the body will attack them because they will think that it is kind of a bacteria or an organism that came from the outside world. So matching the blood type is very important in the transfusion.
Very crucial.
So now I will tell you about the blood types. And the blood type is a very important thing in the transfusion and lots of other surgeries. And these blood types is determined from the very special protein called the antigen. And for the blood type A, they have the A antigen, and for B, they have B antigen. And for AB, they have both A and B antigens. So A and B antigens, but for the O, there's no antigen at all. No antigen at all, but many people think that for A, B, and O only have the kinds of the antigen and kind of just the antigen of A and B, but there are lots of antigens that like the C, E, D, or kinds of them, and these determines the RH type plus, but just A, B, and AB kinds of the people also can have these RH kinds of the antigens. So it is antigen, and I'll tell you about the antibody. And for the antibodies, they also have the A antibody and B antibodies. And for the blood type A, they have the A antigen. So when they meet the B antibody, maybe the B antibody will think that the A blood is the enemy. And for the B antigen, the A antibody makes the A antibody will think that the A antibody will think that it is an enemy for A and B, there is both A antigen and B antigen. So there is no antibody that thinks that it is an enemy. And for the O, there is no antigen at all. So both A, B, and A will think that it is an enemy. So the blood types are a very important part in the transfusion, and I'll tell you about it later. So now I will tell you about the types of the blood and for the dogs. And it is a blood type of the dogs. And they all have the 12 kinds of the blood type, and it is very different from the humans. But for the apes, like the monkeys or gorillas, they have the same blood type as a human. They have an ABO, and AB blood type. But for the cat, they only have the A, B, and AB. There's no O type cat. And there are the most A blood in the cat. And some kinds of whales, they only have the B types of blood. B types of the blood, so there are lots of kinds of the animal blood types.
And sometimes can animal transfusion
Transfer.
transfer each by each?
Yes, there is
Each other, can they transfer their blood each other?
And like the human, the blood can also have a blood transplant from other dogs or cats. So for let's say for example that the blood A cat should have a transplant, and some other kinds of the cats which have the A type blood can give the blood to the other kind of the cat, and when their blood type is same, they can have the transplant like the human too. So now I'll tell you about the very rare kind of the blood type, and it is called the orange snow. And it is the picture of the blood cell of the normal blood type, and it is for the orange snow. And orange, it means that do you know the orange types of blood type?
This is very rare blood types and it is not good for our health in our life.
Oh well, health is okay, but otherwise you don't have any accident and any losing, bleeding situation. Yeah, but very rare.
So the orange type blood types are determined by the orange kind of the blood, and there are lots of antigens that makes the orange, and there are about 50 ones, and some kinds are C, E, or D, and these kinds of antigens determines the orange type blood. The orange minus and orange plus is just orange positive. It's just made only by the antigen D. So when there's antigen D, it is orange positive, and for orange negative, it is the orange negative. But for the orange star, there's no antigen in the blood cells, so the blood cells is very weak. And the kind of the wall that makes the wall that covers the blood cell is very weak. So many people who has the orange snow blood type, they have the leukemia because
Oh, really?
the blood is very weak. The blood cell is very weak because there's no antigen around the.
I didn't know it influenced the health.
Eat 선짓국.
Well, that doesn't help at all, I think. Because he mentioned it's leukemia. It's related to you can be vulnerable to have leukemia, not the anemia.
아,
Yeah, the antigen is not enough. That doesn't mean those are original people have not enough. What was that? The antigen in their body.
The orange blood cell doesn't have any antigen.
Any antigen?
Yes.
No way. Then how can they survive?
And it is very rare, and this orange snow is happening because of some kinds of the
What? Mutation.
mutation. So there's some kinds of the DNA mutation, and it makes the orange snow. So it is not genetic to the people.
Oh, I see. Got it.
And some people think that the O doesn't have an antigen too. The O antigen, I mean that there's no the A, B antigen, but there can be some kind of antigen E or C, not this A, B. So it is just, I think there is no antigen. But for the orange snow, there's not kinds of antigen at all. So their antibody, so their blood cells are really weak. So
You mean their immune system can be very weaker than other?
yeah. So their blood cells are very weak, so they can have some infections as well. And many people who have, there are only 43 of them in the world. But the people who have these orange star, they have the leukemia first, and they have the blood type test, and they found there are the orange snow type. So the orange star is very rare. People say it is a golden blood because it's very
Special.
special. But the orange star can also have the very serious disease leukemia.
And sometimes we have to stay healthy, so we exercise and Then, how does exercise affect our blood circulation and why it is important in our health?
When we exercise a lot, we can find out that our heart is pumping very quickly and it is pumping hard, and it is because when it happens that the blood will circulate more faster, and then when it moves very fast and fast, it will make our body to feel, it will make our the blood, skin makes the sweat to come out from our skin, and this sweat will make the body to. So the sweat will make our body heat to cool down. So when we do exercise, our blood helps our body to cool our body.
Mm-hmm.
So now I'll tell you about the transfusion. For the transfusion, the blood type is very important. So the transfusion can save the people who had too much bleeding, but when we don't
Donate?
and when we don't donate these, the recipients can die. Let's have an example that A donor gave the recipient their blood, maybe the patient can die because of this transfusion, because the blood clots in their body, and also the antibodies in their blood will think that the new blood is an enemy, so it will make the immune system to attack them.
Then, what role do antibodies in our body? What do antibodies do in our body?
They find out that there is an enemy like dogs or dirt that came from the outside, and they send a signal to the immune system like the white blood cell that there's a bacteria or the outside organisms. So if we don't have the antibodies, our body will not know that there is a bacteria or the organism that can make us not healthy. So the antibodies are very important. So now I'll tell you about the color of blood. So what is the color of human blood?
Brownish red color.
And many people will think that there is a bright red color, and means of colors, and it is a brownish red color. And it is also correct because when the blood contains the oxygen, it becomes a bright red color. But when it loses the oxygen, it becomes a dark brownish red color. And I said that it is a red color because there is oxygen that contains, there is a protein that contains the iron, and when the iron is oxidified, it becomes a red color, and it is because it is very red, and the hemoglobin contains oxygen too. So when there is not oxygen, there's only the iron in there, so it becomes to a brownish red color. And now I will tell you about the animal's blood color, and it is a horseshoe crab. It is very rare, very unique kind of a crab, and it is kind of the skin of kind of a lizard, and it is a fish that lives in Antarctica. And for the horseshoe crab, it has a blue color, and for the skin, the lizard, it has the green color. But for this fish, they have the transfusion color of the blood. And for the horseshoe crab and skin, they have these different kinds of blood color because they have a different kinds of protein in their body. So for this horseshoe crab, they have a special protein called the hemocyanin, and it contains the things.
어? 구리 copper.
copper in their body. When the copper is ossified, it becomes a kind of a blue color, and it becomes the color of this horseshoe crab is blue. And like the skin, they also have a different kinds of the blood type, the protein, and it also contains the different kinds of the metal. So when it is ossified, the metal in their oxygen protein makes the red this green color. And for these fish, they have the translucent color because there's not much hemoglobin in their blood, and they thought that they were living a very cold region. So they found out that there's not a lot. They don't have to have a lot of hemoglobin, so they lose their hemoglobin. So it became the translucent color. So Minta, do you have any question?
Then, how does the body ensure that blood clots from only when needed, and what happens when it goes wrong?
When our blood clots in our body, the blood can't go through our body, and blood can't circulate in our body. So the blood will stop, and when it stops in the kind of very important organs like the brain or the heart, our body can die because there is no blood or oxygen that comes to the organ. Like when there's a blood clot in the brain maybe the brain can't have oxygen that helps the brain to move. So when there's not enough oxygen, our brain can't work well. So our body can have very serious problems.
And what is the same things and differences between red blood cell and platelets and white blood cell?
And the difference of
Similarities?
Same thing.
Same, yeah, I mean similarities.
They help our body healthy, and also they also helps our body work together to make our body move and make our body healthy. And it is similar.
Because they're all working together. They're our cells, myself. Okay, done? Thank you, Eun-sung. You were so great. Okay. All right, guys. It was just like a future medical science or something. Have you guys thought about like what do you guys feel? Okay, thank you, Eun-sung. Now, it is time for Min-sung. 이거 아니야? 이거 어째 끊는지 모르겠다. 아 이거네. 이거 끊기. Now I proudly represent Kim Min-sung.
Hello everyone, I'm Minza and I'm in 6th grade of Chijong Elementary School. Today I prepared a presentation about gene. And Eun-sung, do you know what is gene?
Gene is a kind of the chemical thing that makes that determines our body or our kind of the characteristics and it is a gene.
Everything, maybe, almost.
Right, genes come from our parents, and while I studied about this presentation, I found that the technology is come from mother, and the performation is come from our father. So if you want to be smart, then your mother will be smart, but my mother is very smart, so I think I'll be smart and I'll start my presentation about
Yay!
First, I separated in 4 parts in my presentation: a cell, a Mendelian inheritance, chromosomes, and DNA. Now, do you know the similarities and differences between animal cell and plant cell?
The animal cell doesn't have the wall of the cell, and the plant cell has the wall.
Right, animal cell have nucleus, cell wall, and cell block as only cell wall, but plant cell have cell block and nucleus and cell wall. So when we see the onion peel in epidermis in the convex lens, we see like it's same as that the bricks is piled up, but when we look at the animal cell in convex lens, it doesn't look like the bricks are piled up because it doesn't have cell block. And the unit of the animal cell is more smaller than the plant cell, so animal cell is much smaller than the plant cell. Yes.
So the animal cell and the plant cell similarity, they have both the nucleus there, and what is the role of them?
Role of what?
Role of the nucleus.
Nucleus.
Maybe nucleus, the role of the nucleus is protect their body or shield their cells from other, and there are lots of protein in the cell, and they work and they cooperate each other, and it make their body to work well.
Wait. Let me ask you then. What does the nucleus contain inside?
Maybe the chemical inside.
What kind of chemical is it? What kind of chemical substance is it? DNA, chromosome and DNA. Yeah, so the nucleus is very core material for us, like animals and the whole body. So it decide everything, right? It contain all the data of the cell and the human body.
In nucleus, there is chromosomes, DNA, so it determines the characteristic of human, animal, or plant. So in nucleus, it is very important. So if there is no nucleus in cell, it can determine the characteristic of the object. So it has very important function. If we get cancer, there is some problems in our cell. In this picture, this blue one is the cell, and the red one is the bacteria or germ that occur the cancer in our body. And so, do you know what happened to our cell if we have cancer in our body?
The cell will be the cell will die, and the dead cell will become the cancer cell, and the cancer cell will be duplicate very fast. So it will be very serious problem in our body.
Right, cancer cells duplicate in our cell, and our cell will be destroyed, so our immune system will be weakened, then it will be a serious problem. So this is the reason why most people have surgery if they have cancer. Then have you ever heard about Mendelian inheritance?
No.
Oh, come on.
진짜 못 들어봤어요.
Really?
진짜 못 들어봤어요.
At least once?
진짜 못 들어봤어요.
I see, okay.
Have you ever heard about Mendelian?
Well, maybe we know Mendel's zone in music. Go ahead.
Mendelian studied about medical, science, and etc. things, and he studied about Mendelian inheritance. For example, if there's yellow beans and green beans, and if they have 4 eggs, then most of the egg will be yellow color because yellow egg contains dominant, but green beans contain recessive. So the dominant is much powerful than recessive. So this is the reason why in the 4 egg, most of the egg have yellow color.
You mean the P?
Yeah.
Mm.
And there is lots of examples about dominant inheritance. For example, if your parents have not bad eyesight, your eyesight will be bad eyesight by possibility because the dominant gene is much powerful than recessive gene that before I've told you. And if your mother have curly hair and if your father have straight hair, then your hairstyle will be much curlier than the straight hair because your mother contains dominant gene. And sometimes, do you know what occurs in our body when we have diabetes or obesity?
When we have the diabetes, we can have some kinds of lots of other kinds of the disease,
Side following diseases.
side following diseases.
And also feel tired, feel fatigue very often.
Right, diabetes give a negative effect to our body, and in our body there will be lots of diseases too. So we can die because of diabetes. So there are lots of people who got shot for the diabetes. And also, if those parents have obesity, in 80% of possibility we will get obesity. So, but if only one parent have obesity, then for 40% of possibility we will get obesity. So it's okay for only one parent, but not 2 parents. So also the scary diseases can come from our body by our parents. And also there is chromosome in our body. And so do you know how many pairs of chromosomes in our body?
We have 23 pairs of chromosomes.
Right, we have 23 pairs of chromosomes, so in total we have 46 chromosomes. Male have XY chromosome and female have XX chromosome. And they have differences between them. And there will be my smart student that might wonder why only men have baldness gene, because only in the Y chromosome in our body there is baldness. So if in our family, if there's only one people who are baldness, then
Who is bald?
then we will be bald too because of genetic program. So there will be not that big possibility that we have bald if we are females. We are females because we don't have Y chromosomes.
So you're safe because you're a girl.
Yeah.
You'll never be bald.
I can be a bull.
Yes.
Well, if your father and grandfather is bald, then
They're not.
yeah. Oh, then you're safe.
Yay!
And do you know the DNA?
DNA. Maybe the DNA is the kind of the gene.
It's like a container of the gene, the chemical structure.
DNA is chemical structure and it contains base pair. Then so do you know how many base pair is in our body?
Millions?
What's the number?
our body contains 6 million of base pair in our body. So it has a very important role, and also in base pair there is also the mitochondria, and we doesn't get mitochondria.
We don't get.
We don't get mitochondria from our both parents, and the reason why is because the mitochondria is only in mother, so we don't get mitochondria from our both parents because our father have nothing that contains mitochondria.
Mitochondria.
Mitochondria in their body.
What?
And I have a question to you. And do you know what happens if we have less or more chromosome in our body?
When we have a less chromosome,
You're what? If you don't have number of the chromosome is not enough, then disaster happen. You know, you physically have disease or whatever can happen.
If we have less or much chromosome in our body, we might have syndrome for example, the Down syndrome. Also, there is a person who is artist even they have Down syndrome.
Yeah, right.
The Down syndrome, it gives us a fact that we can understand quickly and we can speak quickly than normal people, and also we have no neck, so it'll be very hard to move, and might have obesity because of this effect. And if we have 3 chromosomes in 21st chromosome, we have Down syndrome, so we have to beat them to the number of our chromosomes. Yes.
so I wonder that the chromosomes contains the DNAs, and the DNAs contains the genes.
Might be gene contain DNA, and the chromosomes and only nucleus contain chromosomes and DNA, but not the DNA contains chromosome because the biggest topic is gene. So
Oh, come on. What are you talking about? Chromosome is the bigger structure. Inside the chromosome, there is DNA. And inside DNA, there is gene. You got it?
inside chromosome there is gene, DNA, and etc. things, and in DNA there is gene. So maybe in nucleus, this is the reason why the in nucleus has chromosomes and DNA.
Chromosome is the bigger one, biggest structure. And then next is the DNA, and then the genes are like the orders, like the content inside. Got it?
And I come back to the mitochondria. And do you know the function of the mitochondria inside our body?
Actually, it's not inside the nucleus, it's inside the cell.
No, this.
Not this one?
No, I mentioned that in nucleus there's only chromosomes and DNA, but I don't think that the mitochondria is not inside the nucleus.
No, yeah, it's outside of it, like this. So here. Can you see? It's outside here. This is the mitochondria, and this is the nucleus of a cell. So it works for the cells alive and survive, and it does the metabolistic work.
Mitochondria work to stay alive the cell and help the task of the cell and help the task of the cell. So if there is no mitochondria, our cell doesn't work well and it can't finish their task well. So our body don't have mitochondria inside our body. And I want to ask you one question. Then do you know what contains when we have cancer, the cancer cells attached to our normal cell, then what contains the cancer cell inside?
What the cancer cells contain?
What does the cancer cells contain?
Maybe some kinds of the mutation genes.
Mutated genes.
Right? It might have mutated genes, and also it might have bad bacteria or germ inside, so it gave negative effect to our body.
It's actually the mutated cell, the cancer cell itself. So its nickname is a crazy cell. Yeah, because it's crazy everywhere. Like stick it on the normal and healthy cell and kill it.
Kill it and the cell that die becomes
And it duplicate again. Yeah, you remember? Maybe have you guys seen Miraculous Ladybug? This one, and there is a duplica, and she duplicate everybody. Same like the cancer cell. Oh, you guys have no idea about that. Sorry about that.
So if we have cancer, also before Miss Shin told us, its nickname is crazy cell because it gave us bad effect and we might die because of this cancer cell. So it's good to regenerate
뭐 키모테라피? 그럼 뭐 스트레스 안 받는다고? Transplant?
It's good to transplant.
Ah.
If we have implant.
Well, if it is possible to get the surgery, like if you have liver cancer or stomach cancer, so you can cut off the cancerous part and then but the stomach you can just stitch, but the liver, I don't know, maybe if you lost so much portion of the liver, then you have to get the transplant.
But before this open class, they and some have presentation about liver and also about 70% or 90% of liver die. It can regenerate by cells, so I think it's very good news to the patient who have cancer. And have you ever heard about three parents baby?
Baby with three parents?
Yes.
What? How can it is possible?
Well, I studied about this presentation about gene. I found very surprising and very terrible news that the baby has three parents. If there is, and this is the real situation, and there is one mom who has genetic diseases. So very.
What? Okay, so her egg cell is unhealthy.
Her egg cell is unhealthy, but even she
Want to have a baby?
She gave two births to her children, but they all died because of the genetic diseases. But even she has genetic diseases, she wants to give birth to her baby. So she sent to her donor to change the nucleus inside the egg cell, and the doctor made it.
Doctor put the nucleus inside
Yes.
and remove the donor's nucleus and then put it inside.
And the doctor put the sperm cell and a
He does. You mean IVF? IVF is this. This is in vitro fertilization. Fertilization, you mean? 수정, fertilize.
And the term make it to fertilization. So there is only one baby who has three parents in maybe Saudi Arabia in the world.
Saudi Arabia, was it?
No, the Mexico.
In Mexico?
Yes.
So it means the baby is kind of
Clone.
kind of a cloned baby.
No, of course not. Because the baby only get the donated the how can I say this? Just a cell material, but not the DNA. DNA is from him or her real mother. Cheat?
The dad might cheat with other girls, so this is so I think the baby who has three parents is because the dad might cheat with the other girl, but very surprisingly the mother confirmed and she said okay to make the fertilization with the dad, but I think this is wrong because also life is first and life is very important. But I think this can be, and also the dad will be very sad, might be irritation because of this. But even now, I can understand why that mother.
What? Accept this.
I can understand why the baby's mother accept this fact. And do you have any question?
So when we study about very lot about the genes, and we can clone some animals with the gene kind of. When we study some genes, and maybe we can clone the animals or the people too.
Ah, you mean is it ethically okay? 윤리적으로. In the future, do you think people will do that cloning?
Cloning might be not be very easy because already people tried it, but it is very hard to do it, and I think now is
Illegal.
it's illegal to do that because I think is not for the human right, and that is not a real person. So I think that can be get
Well, it is ruining the human dignity. 인간 존엄성을 일단은 해치는 거고. And then what?
I think it's really
And also morally, it's wrong. Even though the cloning succeeded, but that human body doesn't have spirit inside. So I don't think it can be done and successful.
I think also there will be possibility to cloning because now there are not lots of baby that are late and that are living in Earth in Korea. So
People don't have baby. Yeah.
So I think there will be a little possibility to cloning, but I think it's wrong to do it.
Yeah.
In my opinion.
Okay. All right, that's it. Thank you. You guys are doing so well. Thank you for watching us. 자, 지금까지 김은성, 김민서였습니다. 어텐션 바.